Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming today. We had an intentional and productive offseason that we're excited about. I feel like from a roster standpoint, we were able to address some goals, getting a starting center, which was something that we felt like was very important, adding a couple really good wings in terms of 3 and D wings, Jake LaRavia and Marcus Smart. Clearly getting an extension done with Luka. In addition, having LeBron choose another year with the Lakers as opposed to entering free agency, all positive and productive things for us as a basketball team. And in addition to that, too, recently extending JJ's contract just to make it clear that he's, the basketball leader in terms of our coaching and on-court performance. So lots of business done in the off-season. Of course, now the games will begin next month. Training camp gets going, obviously, next week. So just wanted to welcome everyone here. We're excited about the season, excited to work with you guys as partners, and here to answer questions, both JJ and I.
Jim Hill, CBS 2, KCAL 9. First of all, congratulations. Good luck this year. With everything that you have done and all the wonderful moves that you've made in the offseason up until today, how much pressure is on this team to win it all? Is the pressure more than it has been before?
Yeah, I think JJ and I are both so much about process, and we had a process. We were very methodical with what we wanted to accomplish in the offseason, and now we're going to dive into the process of having this team come together and be a great team. That starts on Monday with our first team meeting. So that's where we're going to really put our attention and focus, is into the process of making this team great and starting by coming together as a group on Monday.
Yeah, I would just add that I think there's always pressure on the Lakers. How many people every day constantly reminding what Lakers excellence is. So that doesn't change, for me at least, year to year. Thank you. That doesn't change for me at least year to year. The other part of what people probably would consider the outside pressure of trying to win, I think you have to look at your own internal standards. And I feel like we set those standards last year. This summer was a very productive summer for not only myself as a coach, but my entire coaching staff. I intentionally created an environment for my young coaches, for Bo Levesque and Lindsey Harding and Ty Abbott and Michael Wexler, all of them to have opportunities to grow, whether that was in pre-draft workouts, summer league, what we've done in the gym the last 2 months. And the guys are players that have been in the gym every day since mid-August, getting ready for training camp. It's the work they put in. That's the standard that we've set here. It's the standard that we're trying to live up to. It's constant. It's no different year to year, day to day when you're a Laker.
Hey, one for both of you. If we could start with Rob. Just thinking about the summer with Luka and the extension, and then I know you guys were able to fly over to Poland to see a game and to see him. How did that inform you, sort of about where he's at, where the team's at, how you build into the future with him, and of course, especially for starting this season?
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about with Luka's accomplishments with Eurobasket. I think the thing that probably stood out among many things for me is just being able to go and spend some time at practices with his national team, and obviously going to the game as well. But just his overall leadership tone and how he not only led by example, but he was very demonstrative in the practice in terms of his expectations of the team, how they played, their togetherness. And I think just seeing that continued evolution and growth with him as not only a leader by example, but a leader with his voice really stood out to me. And I think it's something that's going to carry into camp this year.
And then JJ, just coming off of your first year, and I know last summer was kind of chaotic and going right from broadcasting, and all of a sudden you're the head coach. What did you think about? Are there an item or two with all of this time that has stood out to you the most as you go into year two as a head coach?
I thought about a lot of things. You certainly reflect on the previous season, both successes and failures, and you do a lot of self-assessment, and that was really where I spent a lot of the first probably 4 to 6 weeks was on sort of self-assessment. But I would say the two words that immediately, when you ask that question, pop into my mind are philosophy and methodology. The philosophy of how we want to play, the methodology as a coach of how I want to teach that. And so that's where I spent a lot of time this summer.
Good to see you both. Hey, Rob. This is going to be LeBron's 8th season with the Lakers. It's going to be the first time he's in a contract year. How does that affect your team building process as you not only have to take into account this year's roster, but the optionality of the team for years to come?
Yeah, I think we've talked before. The first thing we want to do in terms of LeBron and his future is just give him absolute respect to choose his story with his family in terms of how many years he's going to continue to play. He's earned that right, and he's the best one to talk about that in terms of how many years he'd like to play. But we were very intentional this summer in terms of the pieces we add with Luka and LeBron once LeBron opted in, making sure that they had the necessary pieces around them to be on a really competitive, strong team. And we built into that and for that. In terms of the future, obviously, again, with what I started your question with, first things first would be for him to be able to make the decisions he wants to in terms of how long he wants to play. We're going to continue to honor and respect that and let him speak into that.
You kind of answered. I just want to put a point on it, though. If he was interested in extending beyond this year, are the Lakers interested in having LeBron James as part of the team?
Yeah, I think I've said before in a previous question, we would love if LeBron's story would be to retire as a Laker. That'd be a positive story.
And one for JJ, congratulations on the extension. I'm just curious, your comments on having that vote of confidence from the organization entering into your second year as head coach.
Yeah, Rob and I, we have a lot of the same philosophies on life, and one of the words we always talk about is gratitude. And so I think it starts with just a high level of gratitude to the Lakers, to Mark, Jeannie, and Rob for having that confidence in me. And it's not lost on me the sort of rarity of a first-time head coach getting an extension. Like, I recognize how fortunate I am to be with an organization that supports me that way.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to both of you. Rob, along those lines,